Okay, so we will discuss more of soft skills training and development, bridging the competency gap on the human element. Captain Terry put it in a way that he discussed soft skills in a wider perspective that plays around the ecosystem of ship operation. But I will do it in a way that it's more personal or crew-centric directly. So it will be a very short presentation on ABO, and I did not put any figures there so you cannot dispute. Sorry. Okay, let's go to the key points. Soft skills are a key factor in the human element on a ship. We all know that. Soft skills play a crucial role for competency development and emerging trends in shipping. We all know that. Then we have to look at first and see the definition of soft skills against the human element. So we have soft skills are character traits and interpersonal skills that characterize relationship with other people and complement hard skills in the workplace. So it separates the hard skills, which is the technical competency of the crew or the person. Now we look at the human element, which is more of a wider aspect. The human element is a complex factor that includes the action and behavior of people involved in shipping. Human error is leading cause of maritime accidents. And we all know that the human element, it includes the human factor, it includes the development and training and all of those things that we have discussed earlier. And here, next slide, we will look at the human error. Because it's mentioned there, the human element, the 75%, based on studies, 75% of maritime accidents are actually related to human error. And 75 to 96% based on study that maritime liabilities insurance claims are attributed to human error. So we can say that human error plays a very crucial side in actually looking at all these incidents and accidents that are happening on board. And what are these human error? Fatigue. Fatigue is, of course, lack of sleep or rest can lead to mistakes. That's given. Poor communication. Misunderstanding can actually lead to more mistakes. Lack of knowledge, not knowing the right procedures or standards can lead to dangerous actions. And then we have decision making. Making decisions without enough information can lead us to accident. Dangerous working environment, working in unsafe condition can lead to accidents. And we have local practices. This is where all the deviations comes in. We have a practice in our ship. We've been doing this for a long time, and this is what we have been used to, so we do it that way, deviating from the standards. And that is a time bomb ticking. Okay, the core soft skills for maritime, I have already discussed this in the past presentation. We have communication, problem solving, decision making, teamwork, and leadership. And I would like to actually associate these core soft skills with the human error. So we touch on the human element, the human error, and then what are the soft skills that are actually attributed to that, meaning what are missing and what is lacking. Human error. We go back to the fatigue. What soft skills actually is lacking? Meaning to say that the person or the crew was not properly trained for time management, doesn't have empathy. If you cannot put your feet in the shoe of others, and then you don't have empathy, you don't understand the situation. And of course, organization. If you don't have organizational skill, you don't have structure, people will be tired, people will be following different directions, and it leads to fatigue. Poor communication, of course, it's communication skills. Interpersonal communication skills is very important. It is how you interact, how you convey the correct message, how you convey the right message so that the receiver will fully understand and will take the action necessary. And lack of knowledge is actually lacking of analysis, attention to detail, problem-solving skills. Those are the attributing soft skills. So, for you to be able to analyze, you have to understand and you have to have the awareness of the situation. You cannot analyze if you have no awareness of the situation. And you cannot come up with a good decision if you are not well informed. And then we go to critical thinking, problem-solving skills. So you also have to have it. Of course, information is very important for you to be able to solve a problem. A correct information, well-informed information, well-informed decision can be made. And decision-making, human error, it's lack of decision-making skills. You have to have the critical thinking. You need to be good in criticizing and coming up with a good judgment. And then you have the poor maintenance. This is relating to work ethics, actually. If a person has no good work ethics, not professional, they will leave things not in order. And it will come to a point that there will be poor maintenance on board the vessel. And it has to do with dependability. You have to be reliable and dependable, and you have to have the teamwork. And then you have the dangerous work environment. You have to be adaptable to the situation. You have to have attention to detail. And again, you have to have the critical thinking for the proper judgment. Local practices, of course, you have to have the flexibility and you have to have the integrity so that you will stick by the standard, you will not go by the flow. What they are telling you is that this is what we've been doing for the last 30 years but nothing happened. But you know, it is a time bomb. It's just a matter of time. And of course, the leadership is very important. Because if there's no good leadership skills, the local practices, the deviation will not be addressed. Because someone has to lead and someone has to really point out what is wrong. How do we address the human element? Crew resource management, this is something that aviation had been using for a long time. And they are very high with this one. We can always say that, why don't we compare aviation versus shipping? Why is it aviation is investing too much on the crew resource management? Crew resource management is an unskilled, non-technical skill training that focuses on the soft skill. They are very high that they invest in that. Why can't we in the shipping industry do the same? Aviation is high risk, same as the shipping is also high risk. So why not? Then we have the trainings. Training. We always say that training, but again, it's training will not be as effective as what we think the outcome would be if there will be no consistency with the trainings. So then we have the management system. We have these, we go by the procedures, we go by the process, the standards we have, and then we have the help of the computer software, which are we are now looking at the AI, we are looking at all these tools, automation to make things more easier. And lastly, we have the human factor. And this is very important. And this has been discussed earlier in most of the slides. I think Abo discussed about the human factor earlier. And this is very important to address on the human element side. Okay, takeaway. Leadership is unlocking people potential to become better. That is my view, Rod. And thank you.